Let me give you the paradox.
Yeah.
Okay. You shit for 2 minutes and you wipe for 3 hours. Or you shit 3 hours and you don't need to wipe. You solve that one for me.
Yeah.
That one I need to be solved.
Yeah.
That's a weird one.
You're there for half an hour, but you just need one little square.
Yeah, one little square. But you go in for like 2 minutes and then you're wiping for a minute and a half.
You're wasting the whole roll.
Yeah. It's like it's never ending. Yeah. Welcome to another episode of Just Us Dads. Thank you for tuning in to yet another Dadversation. Thank you all for joining us. And remember, please go on over to YouTube, subscribe to our channel, follow us on Facebook and on every single audio platform, wherever you get your podcasts. Chris is here. George isn't, but we found a last-minute filler. Is that what it is? A filler? My brother Sava is here.
What's going on, guys?
I'm good, man.
Yeah, you look good. You look
good to see you, man.
Thanks, man.
It's been a while. I haven't seen you in
my
years.
brother, for those that aren't watching and you're just basing yourselves on the audio, just imagine what a caveman would look like after 2 years of being locked into like this very dark cave.
No, it's a good look. It just needs a little TLC.
A little bit. I was supposed to go get it.
I can't even see your face.
It's okay. You don't need to.
Like 2/3 of it is already covered by your nose, and then the rest of it is just hair everywhere.
No, but you know what that is? That shows how cool your wife is.
Yeah,
because usually wives react to that.
Yeah, she does.
Oh, she does.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, she does. She's not very fond of it.
No,
no.
She doesn't find it sexy.
No.
She doesn't like licking your beard.
It's a little too long.
It's too long. Yeah, it is a little long.
It's all right. We're gonna get.
But I like the look, man.
It's gonna go soon. It's gonna go.
How's it going, guys?
Good.
Busy week for everybody. George, I have no idea where he's stuck. He probably doesn't even know where the hell he is. Probably lost in some far away port city in Quebec. Yeah, I don't know where he is.
You know what sucks? Now he's not here. I could say things.
Yeah. Of course, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
We talk behind each other's backs.
Yeah. I feel bad because he gets to travel, which is a fun aspect. I've done it. It's awesome. But he travels to shitty places.
Yeah, like port cities where nothing happens, like remote port cities.
Yeah, and it's not very far, right? It's not very far, like to feel like a vacation, right?
Yeah.
It's close
Some
by.
are far, like he's been to Sept-Îles and.
Those are far.
Yeah, that's far. That's far.
Yeah.
But he drives there. He drives or he flies.
No, there you can't. I think you have to fly there.
Sept-Îles? No, I think you could drive.
It's like 7-hour drive, 8-hour drive.
Yeah.
Why the hell would you drive?
I don't know. People like to drive.
Yeah.
I would drive.
No. So yeah, you're right. He's like, I'm far away from home, but you can't really enjoy it.
Yeah. It's what it is. It's in between. Yeah. It's like all the disadvantages and inconveniences of traveling.
Yeah.
Without the benefits.
I guess.
No, but traveling is fun, man.
Traveling is the best.
I can't wait until we start again, and we've said it on many episodes. But there's still this reluctance because I'm a little bit afraid. Like I know how safe I am with everything that's been going on the last year and a half.
You're gonna wait for a long time, man.
But I don't know how safe other people are, and that's what I don't trust. I trust myself and my family.
Yeah.
I don't trust the fucker at the desk stamping my passport. I don't.
It's gonna be all right, man. But a lot of people are traveling because I'm getting texts. I'm getting people teasing me. Like I'm flying again, and there's a little plane and a little sun.
Nice. Yeah.
I just got I got a text message today, and that's what it is.
And then the middle finger.
No, not even. It's like.
Just travel with Purell on you, man. You'll be fine.
I'll drink it.
What's crazy? Because from what I've seen from pictures, this is a little crazy. Like I don't want to like take a position on the topic.
Yeah.
But I just find it crazy when you're at the airport and you're waiting in the lineup, and there's like 2 meters between people that are going to go in a plane to sit next
Next to each other.
6 inches away from me.
Yeah, so
Rubbing elbows.
Yeah, that stuff like that's funny.
There's a lot of things that don't make sense. There's a lot of things. It feels like at the health department when they sat down and they're like, okay, let's figure out. We need to establish some rules. Okay, we need to maintain this. We need to mitigate the risks and all that stuff. Okay, A, B, C, D. Okay, blah 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 blah. And then once they announced it. And they're like, well, I'm not so sure this kind of makes sense in this scenario. Like, I remember specifically listening to the press conference when they removed, when they removed the maximum capacity allowed in the different, stores and the different businesses.
Yeah.
So they come out. They're like, okay, so for now. There won't be a capacity in the stores. People can go inside, but we do ask you to maintain a 2-meter distancing. Yeah. So it's like, okay, what happens if you're in there and you can't all maintain a 2-meter distance?
Yeah.
Like a lot of things that don't make sense, man.
Yeah,
a lot of things that
don't make, and it's it's normal that they don't make sense because it's like it's sort of an improvisation.
They're learning as they go. Yeah.
But again, you're saying this in this expression. Keeps coming, and I'm going to paraphrase that. I don't know it verbatim, but it's a wise person has something to say, and a dummy or a fool needs to say something. And that's what it is. The government is in a position to have to say something, and it's not always.
And it's also because people are expecting you to say something.
Yeah.
But look, here's what I appreciated, at least from the Quebec government, because I've been following, pretty much things that have been going on, not everywhere, but the major countries and major cities or provinces. At least here, the government had the decency to come out and say, guys, we don't know what this is. We're learning as we go. We tell you one thing today and something completely different tomorrow.
That's fair.
So people's expectations were kind of set, right? But then you have countries like Australia where they came out as professionals. Yeah. This is what's happening. Nobody's out. One case, full lockdown. And we're talking about right before we went live where at some point, I don't know if it's Australia or New Zealand, I can't remember, where they were tracking people on Facebook.
Both.
They were both, whatever.
Yeah, both
like
countries.
Nonsensical stuff.
Yeah.
Like, sir, you were out based on your Facebook feed. You posted something. You posted a selfie. You weren't supposed to be out. Just arresting people or stopping them.
You're not wearing a mask in the street. Put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest. You're going in.
That's nuts.
Come on, man.
Yeah, like that's ridiculous. And
let's hope that doesn't come here.
Look, thankfully we're doing very well.
It's a hairline, guys.
It's a domino effect.
It's only a decision.
It starts somewhere and it just goes
Shit
on
like
and on
this
and on, and it just follows in every country. Man.
That's right. It's a decision away. That's what we don't understand sometimes. Like you have the people that are like, oh, these people with all their rights. No, man. Rights are very, very important because what we don't know is not having rights. You know what? We're privileged in a way that we've all had the rights we have, right?
Yeah.
And unless you go into history and really dissect history and read through the lines, you're not aware of that. So you take it for granted. And so you know what? I'm glad there's people that are fighting for this stuff. I'm not brave enough to go do it, but there's people that are fighting for it. And you know what? I'm glad they exist because once you give it away, it's a battle to take it back. Exactly. So you know what? People should relax.
Yeah. But there's also the frustrating part about, in that group of people that are logically, with good arguments fighting for whatever you describe, there's a faction of just dumb idiots. You know what I mean?
Always.
There's always dumb idiots, man. There's always
but that's the beauty of democracy.
But they're also the loudest, and they're the ones that are more present, and they're the ones, unfortunately, that the media focuses on. They're like, look, you see these people, the anti-vaxxers, look how stupid they are. Look at this and look at that.
The media has to show something negative, man. They're not going to go up to the guy that's just standing there all peaceful and quiet doing nothing. There's no news there for there. It's not interesting. The guy that's jumping on a cop car and trying to flip it over, that's interesting to them. You know what I mean?
It's true. And that's the reason I haven't watched news in
7 years.
Oh, more than for me,
sure.
It's more than that.
For sure.
And it doesn't mean I'm not informed. I'm very informed.
Yeah, I know.
But it's not through news.
No.
Because that a specific lens, it's a specific way of telling stories. And you can't tell, like, if you think you're informed by watching the news,
you're misinformed.
You're misinformed. Yeah. Look, I'm not saying it's all lies. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it's the surface. If you want to know stuff, you got to go deeper, right?
No, you got to read.
You got to read. Yeah. You got to, and you know what? The information is not in one place. That's another thing that we're messed up with. You know what? Sometimes if it's trivial, you're going to look at Google and you're going to say, "Oh, look, I figured it out."
Yeah.
A lot of the information or knowledge is in many places
Yeah.
at different layers. You can't just look it up in 5 minutes and say this is the answer.
Yeah, and the difference now compared to maybe 10, 15, maybe even 20 years ago is that because now people have access to so much information because of social media, the media, like the visual, like still the news, and they have to keep up with that. So it has to be quick, and it's snippets.
It's the first one to come out.
You know what I mean? So they're focused a lot on being the first to break the news. But even when they do that, because there's so many things coming, they have to cover everything. So it's like 2-3 minutes on one topic. Okay, next. So it's like the big thing. They don't take the time anymore to analyze, to look at different perspectives. I remember being a kid and watching, I don't know, Peter Mansbridge, for example, where they would cover a couple topics in that 1 hour news period, where they would look at every single aspect. Okay, what did he say? Okay, let's go to that person now. And like you would get at least some sort of arguments on either side of whatever issue that they were covering. No, it's no longer that.
Yeah.
Now you have like very popular people, former politicians. They're just analysts, right? They're commentators. They're not, they're
Well, that's why journalism is on life support.
yeah.
And it's not only discredited, it's denigrated.
Yeah, because you don't it's very difficult today to define what a journalist is, because the person that you're watching, is he really a journalist? Like, there's a lot of journalists still on TV and on radio, but there are more and more. Like, I watch French news because I there's a channel that's always like, I don't think we have that in English TV here in Quebec. So there's a couple stations where it's always news, so I just have that on, and you're gonna have like your chief correspondent or whatever, but then we're into this period now, the last maybe let's say 10 years, where you have former politicians, you have like influencers or whatever that have made it on TV, so they're getting a lot of visibility, and just because they're very vocal or just because they have a lot of followers or whatever the reason is, they're on TV giving their opinion. Some of them are good, some of them are fucking horrible, and they're not journalists. They're not journalists. They're just quote unquote experts. Like, they understand politics, or they've worked in politics, or they know what's going on, and they're just giving their opinion. You understand?
Yeah, but that's the difference. Like, it's okay if somebody's an influencer. I don't mind him, and he gives me his opinion because I want the opinion. You know what? If I don't want the opinion, I'm not going to listen to him.
Right.
But real journalism is unbiased. Real journalism is not the opinions; it's just the facts.
The facts, exactly.
So what's happened now is we have had division of left and right. So if you look at the left news, you get left propaganda. If you listen to the right, I'm talking about the political spectrum, right? You get the right propaganda, right? And the middle.
There is no middle.
Well, the middle is what they both agree on. That's the common sense.
Which is not much.
Well, it's not much, but that's common.
Yeah.
That's the fact. That's the truth. Everything else is the opinion.
Yeah.
And that's fine if pundits do it, if influencers do it, ex-politicians that know how to analyze and people want to listen to them, guys like Ben Shapiro. I love guys like that.
Yeah.
But when you go to listen to them, you know what to expect.
You know what to expect because you're a smart guy and you can make the difference. But your average person that listens to quote unquote news that has these people, they take their word for gold. It's like, oh, that's what he said on that channel.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like, that's just one person's opinion.
And
It's not
crazy.
journalism.
And you have people not like us, but you have average people, like pretty much arguing. No, I heard this today, and you're like, no, I heard that today, and it's like we have the feeling that what I read is right and what you've read is right.
But let's
get it?
Yeah.
But let's just correct something also. Your average person doesn't read. So when you're talking about I read this or I read that, very
whatever,
few-
the headlines,
Yeah, the
whatever
headlines.
it is,
Exactly.
the headlines.
It's like, oh shit, yeah, this is what happened, and the headlines are it's catchphrases. It's to
course.
catch your attention.
It's to sell. It's marketing.
You know how many times I've read titles, and when I read the actual piece, I'm like, the title has absolutely nothing to do with what I just read.
But that's what I wanted to.
Yeah, but it caught your eye though.
That's the whole point.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's a hook. But that's what I wanted to get to. Journalism used to be journalism. I find today, just because of the way it's defined and because it needs to come out quick, like you said, and you want to be first, journalism has
It's
taken
big,
it.
it's, of course, it's
taken
big
a hit.
titles. It's
Yeah, so it's not even the real journalism anymore. You know what? This is how I get my knowledge. I don't watch the news, but if I'm interested in a topic, I'm gonna go in depth into the topic. I'm gonna read maybe 2-3 books on the topic, listen to two experts, maybe another two experts on both sides. Then I'll probably, if I can find a debate, I'll listen to that.
Dude, you're in the percentage of the exception of the exception.
No, I understand
That's
that.
too much work, man.
Yeah, it's too much work. But you know what? When it's time to have a conversation, let's have it.
Yeah, sure.
And
You're knowledgeable.
Well,
You know a lot about it.
Well, at least, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
And even if it's on both sides, I'm not going to take a side. I'm going to see what both sides are saying.
No, eventually you're going to have an opinion on it, so you're going
Absolutely.
to situate yourself somewhere.
You're gonna lean towards one side at the end. Whether
Because
you know
of
what I mean?
because of your belief system. But Chris is someone that's going to do the research and say, okay, what does that group think? What does the other person think? What is the general population, the middle ground? What do they think?
Yeah.
Where am I? Who do I
Yeah.
agree with?
Yeah.
And you know what?
So you're going to have a position, but you're going to have an understanding of what everyone believes about whatever topic.
And the biggest problem I see, because it's a good thing to disagree.
yeah,
You could disagree with a lot of people, and I'm open to changing my mind anytime if there's a better argument. And I used to not be like that. I used to be the complete opposite. I used to be stubborn. And now it's like, okay, the more you realize, the more you know, it's like, okay, look, man, there's a lot of possibilities here. It's just that once you start realizing this stuff, you realize that the other people on the other side, it's small little arguments and little sentences here and little sentences there. And you realize that if a topic, I don't know, you need a couple of hours to go in depth, most people have 4 minutes for you.
Yeah.
But they're really, really, really adamant and really, really like rigid on their position with 4-minute knowledge. That's what happens right now. And because you can't get into the depth of the half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hour conversation.
Yeah, it's too long. You lose your.
Well, it's too long, and then what you do is you have division.
Yeah.
I'm here, you're there, and you know what? We just attack each other because we hate each other. You know what? We got to get to the point where people could have conversation. You could think something totally different from me, total opposite, polarized view, and we could still be able to be friends. Because both are needed. Think about it. If you have different human beings think, I know I'm going philosophical here.
that's fine.
Yeah,
But if different human beings think different things, well, then we need each other. So we need more conversation.
Yeah.
And that's why, I don't want to bring this up, but we don't have to talk about it, but that's why political correctness and cancel culture are the two most important topics right now. Because
that's all that's happening right now.
no, but if we mess up with free speech, you could only fix bad ideas with more speech.
Well, guys, look, one positive thing that has come up because, and you know, I work a lot with Pantelis, and he's associated with Mike Ward. I don't know if you followed that recently, where the Supreme Court, remember that whole situation with him and the little kid that he made a joke.
He won that case.
And he won that case, which is a huge thing in Canada. And even that,
Good.
But Chris, even that, it wasn't like an obvious decision. It was a split decision. Even in the Supreme Court, it was 5-4. So even
So close.
yeah.
So close.
So even there, it was like shit, man.
No, but think about it, man. Think about it. The whole...
And it's not, look, sorry, and I don't want to dwell on the story, but the whole issue wasn't that he picked on like some random sick kid or whatever. He was a celebrity. The kid was well known, and you know, you're a public figure.
Yeah.
And I joked around about whatever.
I'm old school with that, man. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where they had decided. Like the deciding factor was on whether or not, like it came down to that. Should he have attacked a kid? And the argument, you know, from the defense was, it wasn't just a random kid. He was a celebrity. He's a public figure. The same way that we're allowed to make jokes about Celine Dion or whatever.
We can make jokes about everyone.
That's what it is. And it was split decision.
It frightens me, man.
Yeah, by one vote at the Supreme Court, free speech was saved in Canada.
That's what I was going to say. The whole justice system is based on hearing people, right?
Yeah.
Hearing people's testimony.
Yeah.
It's like what you're gonna filter that. It's weird. I'm telling you, speech is the only mechanism we have to solve issues. And you know what? The bad ideas are bad ideas. I'm not condoning bad ideas or racist ideas or discriminatory ideas or whatever violent. I'm not saying like speech that incites violence is no good.
But
I get
there's
that.
laws already against that.
That's
so,
right.
You know.
But anything else, you should be able to say.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be any...
People are too sensitive now, man.
Well, you know what?
I mean? It's
No.
They take offense to everything.
No, Sava.
You know?
The issue isn't that people are sensitive. The debate now is: are people sensitive, or is being sensitive like this style now, this thing that we're everything that happens. It's
No,
like
that's what it is.
It's a current that everything that you say, there has to be like this counter current. I feel like that's what it's not about you necessarily not agreeing. You're not agreeing because it's kind of like a trend.
Well, that's what. No, I'm with Sav on this, man. It's like, you know what? It's like people, like they're all for free speech except for the ideas they don't like.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, free speech entails ideas you don't like.
Yeah.
And it's a crazy idea in 2020. Well, it started earlier in the United States, about 2015, around there. It's a crazy idea that people feel they need to be protected from being offended. That is an extremely stupid idea.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious.
It is.
100%.
You know what? First of all, people have the right to be wrong. That's number one. That's why we live in a democracy.
Yeah.
And that's why a democracy is not based on a meritocracy, right? Anybody could go govern.
Yeah.
Because we agree that people have that right. Right? We agree that democracy is not a system based
exactly.
on competence, right?
Yeah.
It's not the competence that rises up. All right? It's democracy. It's whoever wants. So, yeah. So it's an absurd idea, and I just really hope, because I know the people that are against it. I get it. The default position is to be like compassionate and say, you know what, that wasn't nice. But you can't say anything that's intelligent or worth anything if you can risk having somebody being offended. You know what I mean? You're never going to please everybody with every idea.
Yeah.
But like, this is something that you probably know much more of. Like all these huge scientists and all these big theories, all these bold statements that were made, like, like 40s, 50s, 60s, even before that.
Even before, like with Galileo,
yeah, exactly.
Copernicus, guys like that.
Imagine that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it was the same problem. But didn't we learn? You have the right to say something and offend people. You have the right to say something and be wrong. And you know what? You're going to be criticized. And that's fine. You should be criticized with your ideas.
Yeah, but people can't take criticism anymore.
Yeah, no, but you know what? How do you judge a bad idea? It has to be spoken.
Yeah.
I don't really care what's on your mind. I don't care what's in your thoughts. Your behavior is what we care about, right?
Yeah.
So you know what? If you start saying things that are bad, we'll tell you, hey, man, that idea is not good.
And we don't have to go very far, right? We just look at the last couple of years, what's been happening in the U.S., where
the cancel culture you're talking about?
Not necessarily the cancel culture, just the counter current and how it goes from one extreme, like the pendulum swings, to the complete other extreme, where you had this anti-Trump movement, and we're not here to take positions pro or against Trump. That's not the point. The point is that you had this group that believed that Trump's followers were fascist, and they called themselves anti-fascist. So the whole Antifa, the creation of Antifa movement, where they became equally as violent as
Antifa is not right; it's left.
But by being extreme left, they became.
They were calling the alt-right fascist.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, everybody saw that they're equally as violent.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what I mean?
I think Reagan said it.
Locking themselves up. Remember what happened in Seattle? Like they enclosed themselves in this whole thing. They wanted to declare it independent, whatever faction or state.
Reagan said it. Liberalism is going to come in the form of fascism, and he was right.
Yeah.
Because the fascists, like, I'm not saying all fascists. Like, let me be clear. I'm just saying that a group like Antifa, which is anti-fascist, uses fascist tactics.
No, that's
to
what I
get
said.
their way,
Exactly,
right?
exactly
What you said, yeah. So, the left is not supposed to be the fascist ones. You have a lot of crazy stuff. It's, you know what? I guess people need to take a side. People need to belong somewhere. I get it. There's not a lot of look. Think about it. If you're not fighting for anything in your life, you're gonna attach yourself to something that you think is worthy.
Yeah.
It's the people that just feel too virtuous, and they're the loudest. And
or not, Chris, or not. Maybe you're just going to decide to seclude yourself, and that's even scarier because, and we haven't recorded this because obviously we have very little knowledge about this. At least I do. This whole thing about the metaverse and Facebook and all this, in this creation of this whatever it's called, this online.
Careful, bro, they're gonna censor your show.
No. But you have these people that live in what's it called, a virtual thing. like I know so little of it. I don't even.
Yeah, me too. I got into it lately. I heard.
So I read a few things and I heard a few things because I missed the announcement and it's stuff that personally I don't understand. But what I read is like next level shit where you're just gonna plug into this world and you're just gonna live there, and that's equally as dangerous because you're like you don't understand society. Either you don't understand it or you don't want to be part of it because of everything happening. So the other option is I'm just gonna go to a virtual world and make my own little world in there. And fuck all you. You know what I mean?
Up, man. That's
It's gonna have a lot of repercussions like on the world today, and you know what? You're gonna have a lot of these ethics that are going to be debatable now.
And again,
it's going to raise a lot of questions. It's going to rise. It's going to raise a lot of questions.
But look, for everyone listening or watching, we're not against what was proposed. I think it's like this huge advancement that could be practical.
Well, you can be
no, but it could be practical and shit. Like they were looking at it from the education perspective on how you can take education the way it is now to the future of what it could be, like where you can explain to a classroom, for example, the moon, and I don't know, you're gonna have glasses or whatever they're gonna have, and you're gonna be able to zoom in and just swipe shit left and right, and like it's so much more interactive.
Shit you see in
and I
movies,
think it's
man.
but it's much better. Like for learning purposes, I get it. Like educational and science, and like I get the advancement makes sense to me, but to be living a life like that, like that for me is like just beyond any.
You got to take a second and ponder the idea, because you see, we're falling in the trap. We're trying to make a decision whether it's good or bad.
No, I'm not saying it's good or bad.
But we don't know. We don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
We haven't even seen it yet. You know
Like
what I mean?
I heard a couple of interviews. I heard Mark Zuckerberg on what's his name, on Vaynerchuk.
Oh yeah, Gary Vaynerchuk.
I heard a couple of like keynotes on it. I kind of understand it because it's virtual reality and augmented reality. It's both.
Yeah.
But man, it's like, look, these guys are like they're futurists. These guys live in the future. You know, when we're planning our work, like I'm thinking maybe a month ahead, sometimes two. Yes, the year ahead for the bigger goals, but you kind of think a year ahead, a month ahead, a week ahead, sometimes only a day ahead. These are guys are in 50 years ahead.
Yeah.
So you can't belay them to think like that. It's just that my only, because I haven't learned enough about it, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Like I'm gonna dissect this.
It's interesting.
I'm gonna put 100 hours.
But it's also scary.
Yeah.
Chris is gonna read everything. All the literature.
Whatever I can get on that, I'll get it. The debates, that's what I like.
Yeah.
So I like epistemology. Like whatever comes up. But what did I want to say?
Yeah, they think ahead. 50 years.
Yeah, they're 50 years ahead, and I'm glad people like that exist. Now, the only thing I'm going to say for now is that just because we could do it on a technological front doesn't mean we should.
Yeah.
I think that's where we lose the game with technology. It just like technology is never going to go backwards. It's going to keep going forward, right?
Yeah.
Forward. Ideas may go backwards, like we're seeing with Australia. We're going backwards with thought.
Yeah.
On a sociological kind of.
It's not only in Australia.
On a societal level.
In Europe too, it's the same
Well,
thing.
whatever. I just find that's going backwards.
Yeah.
Technology can go backwards. You can't go back to.
You can't stop it.
You can't go back to dial-up internet. No. Okay? Like you're not going to go back. Yeah, we're not going back to that. But that means that we have to be very careful because it's no longer technological decisions. It's ethical decisions.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just like now with AI, right? We'll pretty much be able to fix a lung and replace a lung, right? But back 150 years ago was unethical. Never mind, we didn't have the technology. It was unethical to keep somebody's organs.
Do you remember we were I think in high school when they started about cloning. Remember that sheep, whatever that sheep's name was, whatever, and it became like this big international debate on, you know, why should we be playing God and who are we to reproduce it? And now people are like, yeah, you need a kidney. Plug it in a machine, build one in a day or something.
It's no longer unethical.
It prints it out for you.
Well, it's unethical for certain people. That's why we need debate. Because I'm sure the people that are against that have good arguments. Let's listen to them. Let's not just say that they're archaic, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But that's why you need more. Man, I'm for conversation. Man, the second conversation stops and there's a limit on speech or a censorship on speech.
Yeah,
or
now you have
speech even
now,
worse.
Yeah, now you have the trigger warnings. You have all these things like, oh no, I need to be warned before. What are you going to talk about? I need to just comprehend and assess what I'm about to hear and see if I'm going to feel okay about it.
That's the wrong direction.
What the hell is going on,
That's
man?
the wrong direction.
And we've spoken about it for everyone that interested.
Yeah,
we have a whole episode on trigger warnings and all that stuff. But I don't know. It's just a crazy society.
It's crazy times.
It is.
But for us at least, guys, look, I mean, we lived what we lived, and obviously, I mean, we're at a point where we can kind of comprehend what's coming. The big question is, how the hell are our kids going to live in that society, right?
But
But I think it's going to be easier for them because our kids are young, so they're going to evolve with it. You know what I mean? It's not like us.
Yeah, I don't doubt
what
that.
are you seeing that as the advantage or the disadvantage?
That's the question. The question is it going to be good or is it going to be bad?
Because we're one of the first. We're the only generation, and I mean generation, that Facebook came after. I wasn't born into Facebook, right?
exactly.
We weren't born into internet.
That's right. So we kind of saw it after, and so we kind of used it as a tool. And then when all this stuff came to us, and we were exposed to this when we were exposed to the future, we knew how to handle it because it was like, okay, this is too much now because it makes me feel weird. Somebody that is born into it cannot see that contrast.
No.
So the way you see it as an advantage, I see it as a disadvantage.
But it depends, Chris. The same way that you have, and we had that conversation last time with George, the same way that we were born in a technologically advanced, quote unquote, compared then. I mean, we're not going to look at it where it's at now, but like the 90s and whatever, in a society where we knew nothing about farming, for example, where you contrast that to our parents, it's like. These kids, how are they going to live their lives without knowing how to plant a tomato kind of thing? That kind of mentality. We have to understand, we have to realize that, okay, this is how it is. Society advances. But now, like with the technological advances, it's like exponential. It's not like an advancement over several decades, right? I mean, let's say our parents were born into like a farming kind of world, an environment where it took like almost the entire 20th century, like let's say up until the 70s, from the minute we're born, from the 80s until now, I mean, the advancement has been like incredibly.
That's right. That's what it is. It's the advancement. That's why I wouldn't compare, because we were exposed to the internet, and then today, like from the advent of the internet, let's say till today, you're right, that curve is kind of exponential, but it's more linear. So we were able to digest it. From today to 10 years, it's going to be really exponential. Okay. So the adaptability is going to be a lot less. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
And then when you're talking about AI and the people talking about the singularity point, that's scary. The singularity is what? Is that from the human perspective, from the person perspective, technology is advancing at such a high rate that from our perspective, it seems infinite. We cannot detect it. We can't see the rate of change.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah.
A little bit.
You know what I mean? So from the farmers, let's say from the agrarian age to the industrial age to the information age, technologies came, people adapted, they had time. I find from the information age going to the artificial intelligence age, a lot of people are going to be left behind.
It's too quick.
Yeah, it's not like my mom who didn't really master the internet and now needs me to send an email. Well, she kind of figured it out now, but you know what I mean. It's not going to be that kind of handicap. We're talking about being irrelevant,
not being able to function,
not being able. You're useless. When like with capitalism, how people are getting exploited and people are being used. That's not going to be the problem that Marx thought he was going to fix with socialism and communism, which he didn't. But it's not going to be about people exploiting other people. It's going to be about people being useless.
Yeah.
You're useless.
No, we're laughing, but it's true.
No, we're laughing.
You're going to be like, okay, well, what do I do?
So we're going to have different problems. We're going to have good things too.
Kind of like when your parents were told at the bank that, you don't need a booklet anymore. You have to go to the ATM now. And they're like, what do you mean?
My dad still refuses. To this day, he refuses.
Mine too.
I need to punch the booklet. I need to know what my balance is.
Yeah. You know what? I opened up an online account for him, and he's accepting it.
Wow, that's that's advancement.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. But he
My father will not accept that.
it takes
No.
time.
They move. They've advanced. They have a debit card. I think my mom knows how to go to the machine.
Yeah,
and
but they don't have an online account. They don't do their banking online.
I don't think they deposit in the machine. They have to go to the counter. The machine, they've understood how to withdraw only.
But I understand
Because they get it. They're like, I need that much money. But putting the money in the machine is like, no, fuck, I'm going to lose it.
you
You're
know what
going to
it
lose
is?
my money.
You know what it is?
I need to go to a human.
Somebody's gonna steal the money from
you
behind
could-
the machine.
No, but you know what? You could teach them. You could probably like say step 1, 2, 3, 4, and they'll get it. You know what their worry is? Their worry is like, let's say something goes wrong. What do I do? You know,
My
It's like,
my father,
they're
I
gonna be
think-
stuck with the machine.
No, I think my father, at least twice a month, tells me, you're going to lose all your money.
No.
Oh, this technology, you guys are going to lose everything you
Well,
have.
that's another segue to Bitcoin and digital currency, which is interesting, but you're not going to lose your money.
No, I know you.
Your money might lose value, but even that has happened in a democracy like Cyprus.
Yeah.
You know, so you know what, man? It's like I find we just have to wake up to the idea that things could, look. We have to be balanced. In what way? Things could go very, 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 very well, and that's what we hope for, right? And then if you're a little bit of an optimist, that's where you're headed. But you have to realize that things could go very, 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 very bad,
Very quickly.
and you need to be prepared for both, man. And that's why I don't believe. Just to get back to the comment. I don't believe people living in their own little bubble in a metaverse. Because you know what? We've made it this far because we're a social animal working together. We have social loyalty.
Yeah.
Right? There's synergy. Together we do more. Like 1 + 1 is 11
yeah.
in the community.
But that's the confusion, Chris, because we've grown up and we've lived and we still live in like you said, in a society where we need that human interaction.
Mm-hmm.
That's what my fear is. My fear is that we're moving closer and closer to an era where there is no human interaction, or whatever interaction there is fake.
Yeah.
It's fake. You
Or
don't know who
maybe-
you're dealing with. Someone's avatar.
Yeah.
Like that's your interaction. But
or maybe that's what the being has to do. That's like, let's say we project into the 100% evolution. Let's say there is an end of a cycle and it's not infinite.
yeah.
Well, maybe the end of the evolution is just conscience. Like what's really you is just your consciousness, right? Because there's people like like if you get into like the rabbit hole, if you go deep into that one with guys like Ben Goertzel and the A guys, man, like they're talking about not even needing your body.
You lost me, bro.
You know what I mean? no.
You lost
Look,
me, bro.
I'm not trying to be hokey.
Bro, the guy was eating raw meat in his cave, bro, until this morning when he
I was cooking on a fire. What are you talking
No,
about?
but they're talking about like there's the brain. Look, we understand a lot about the brain. And I don't want to get into the brain because that's another thing that fascinates me. The brain, like, you know what? I think the artificial intelligence, like, age is the brain age. We have that because we understand deep learning. We understand deep learning because we know how the brain works and we make really fast computers.
Right.
So quantum computing with a great understanding of neuroscience in the brain gives you artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Okay. But when these guys talk, again, these are futurists. These are people that don't think, what am I eating tomorrow? They don't care. Sometimes these guys go 3-4 days without eating because they're into their books, they're into their stuff. But they're talking about like the future is going to be like, you know what? I want to download I want to be happy. You download the happiness patch.
Yeah,
You know what?
that's
That's
crazy.
next level. bro.
You want to feel like what it is to be broken up because your girlfriend didn't break up with you.
Come on, man.
Well,
Come
you
on.
know what?
Yeah, you plug in the feeling.
You put that feeling, and you know what? If you want to keep your body, that's why even Elon Musk says it. AI is going to be symbiotic. It's not going to be just AI. You can still keep your body in certain functions, but the AI is going to be a part of it. And then you're going to have the option. This is what Ben says. Ben Goertzel. Is it Ben Goertzel or Dan? No, Ben Goertzel. You could tap into this supercomputer and see what 1,000 brains can do. And don't forget, this is all with the knowledge that we only use 8-10% of the brain.
Yeah.
That means there's what? There's another 85-90% maybe. Right?
A lot of people are gonna be left behind, man.
No, that
Yeah, for sure.
like historians and guys that study like sociologists, stuff like that, that's what they're worried about. Futurists just care about their technology. Politicians just care about votes. So you're gonna, right? They just care. Well, no, they do care about fixing problems too. It's just there's a little bit of an
If it
inability.
benefits them.
Well, if it benefits them, and if there's
There's an
movement there-
opportunism attached to it.
yeah, and I always saw that. I think it's time to change the political system because the political system is like a traffic light. It's green, yellow, or red. Red, things are not happening in the private market. Green, it's go ahead, let them do it. Or yellow, we're not sure. Let's see, whatever. So it's for me, it's not that. Like when things happen, for me, it's the market that does it. The ingenuity comes from the people. It doesn't come from the public sector. The public sector regulates it. But everyone's going to get together and realize. And then there's the optimists, and then there's the pessimists. There's the optimists like Ben Goertzel, who's like, man, it's going to be fine. We're going to be able to scan things and find things and feel great. And then there's the pessimists like Elon Musk or Sam Harris that are like, hey, man, if this thing takes over, we're done.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, I don't know, pick a field, pick a side.
I just want to be living and not too old where I'm not capable, but at an age decent enough to live it and to understand it.
You will.
Like I want to. I don't know if I would want to experience it because we don't know what it's going to be like. But I want to see it. I want to see what the hell society is going to evolve into.
I've experienced a little bit of augmented reality with virtual reality from work.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
Yeah.
Like think about it. You're entering a space, a 3D space that you're not in, but you kind of are.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I don't know.
But that's the whole thing. And I'm gonna go back to Metaverse because from what I read and from the very little that I heard, there's this whole aspect of business that will evolve in this fake virtual world where you're gonna be living your life in, this virtual kind of reality. But in that fake reality, you're gonna be walking into a McDonald's to eat.
That's fucked up.
You understand? But
I want to experience it. I'm not gonna lie.
like it's
I
crazy.
want to experience this.
Or you're gonna walk into like an art gallery and purchase a virtual art in the form of an NFT, and it's yours. Like it belongs to you. It's virtual.
Yeah.
So you can hang it up into your virtual house. So like in your real house, it's not there.
Yeah.
But like if somebody walks into your house and they have their VR glasses, they're gonna be like, oh, interesting, nice little painting over here that you bought. Like crazy shit like
I
this.
don't know, man.
Already that virtual reality, right? Even the NFT, the whole concept of an NFT, it's a crazy concept. I think it's one of those where like people, how people used to pay $70 million for somebody that just threw paint on a canvas.
Yeah.
They still do,
Well, they still do. That's crazy.
if not more.
That's crazy to me.
yeah.
It's
Art. It's art, man.
No, but it's crazy to me.
Yeah,
Like
me too,
I
but it's art.
cannot decipher the value between $1 and 70 million. Like, what is it?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not the painting. It's the market. It's like I remember when we had I was in finance with Robert. Hey, Robert. And we were gonna raise some money by selling paintings. And there was this painting. A client had painting, and he wanted to sell his paintings to do real estate. So he had a lot of paintings. He had a big gallery. And
Paintings that he did.
No, paintings that he collected.
Okay.
Yeah, I know him. They were worth nothing.
Okay. I don't know.
So there was one painting that was worth nothing, and then Madonna wanted it, and Mick Jagger got a copy of it.
Suddenly,
yeah. So
forget
it's
it.
like, you know what? It's not about the painting. That's all I want to say. I don't want to talk more about it, but it's stuff. NFTs is that. NFT is non-fungible
Non-fungible token.
Okay, so it's like
Basically, it's a digital print of whatever
you want.
Whatever you want.
So it's whatever somebody's willing to pay.
Yeah, but it's like you become an owner of a digital thing.
Whatever, it could
Like
be
a
a
lot of
picture.
artists, a lot of artists are doing it. Like musicians, they're selling NFT of the first, picture of their album cover or whatever, and it belongs to you. But it's in an NFT. Like you
Yeah,
just
yeah.
buy it virtually.
I get
Like
it.
it's like digital fucking. Whatever
That's
it
the
is.
future, and it's going to be all complicated. And then we're you too, probably because your kids are young. We're going to be like perplexed with the idea of like, do I let him watch more YouTube, Well, yeah, because it's better than going in the metaverse. We're gonna be like, no metaverse for you.
No, I think
what?
no. We're gonna come to whatever the equivalent will be of how your parents, they're like, what email, what attachment, what is that? Like, what are they talking about? Like the equivalent of that in 40 years. I don't know what it's gonna be. That's gonna be. It's like, what are these terms these kids are throwing?
It's exactly that.
Yeah.
It's exactly that. Our kids are gonna be looking at us like, what the fuck's wrong with you, man? You don't know this.
But you know what, man? I wish, like if you graph technology, right? The proliferation of technology, right? And if you graph it with time, it's an upward curve like that. It's exponential, but it's up.
Yeah.
I think intelligence is going like this.
It is.
So we have all this smart stuff. We have all these great technologies. Like we have that, I don't know, 0.5% of people working on certain stuff. And then you have the masses that are going like this. Because don't forget, we're in the same world, but we're not in the same mindset.
Yeah.
People coming up with this stuff is one intelligence. People consuming this stuff is another.
Because
it's not parallel. It doesn't follow.
No, because it's a select few that understand what's happening.
Yeah, man. But it's like, you know what? Somebody you have to. That's why it's like, let's not make up our mind on it yet. But it's not going to be an easy one. This is not going to be an easy one where people are going to be like, yeah, it's fine, let it. You know?
Yeah. Look, I'm still excited because I want to
me
witness it to see what it's going to be like. I'm not so sure about the metaverse, though. I'll be honest with you. I don't understand how people can just spend hours just looking at.
I could understand that, man. Look, my son can play, and he's not allowed to play during the week, okay? But when he plays on the weekend, he could easily spend 8 hours and not even get hungry.
Yeah, but that was the same for us, man. When I was playing a video game, bro, forget it.
That's what I'm saying.
I was zoned in.
So there's no reason.
Yeah, but this is different, bro, because he's thinking, I just ate a virtual burger. I grabbed it. Don't worry, I'm not hungry. I ate.
No, I'm just responding to you saying that, man, never mind. We won't be able to get them off this thing. And you know what? It's going to be in equipment, right? It's going to have probably equipment and stuff like that. Like,
yeah,
you're gonna walk to your kid. You're gonna walk into your kid masturbating like this
with joysticks.
With joysticks, it's gonna be like this. And like fuck.
No, because it's like look what is it the Facebook that came out with their glasses?
Yeah.
Well, Google had them or whatever, but Facebook came out with their own. So that's what it's gonna be like, man. Like in the future, dude, you're gonna be wearing like, I don't know, probably a contact lens that are like digital or whatever, like they had in that Mission Impossible movie, where he's putting these things and they can scan or whatever. Like imagine that. Like instead of having this whole thing attached to your face, like these goggles.
Yeah, but Google came out with glasses where you can
but now
see
recently
maps and
but now recently Facebook came out with glasses. Like, I don't know exactly what to do, but imagine like in the future where it becomes so like precise that it's a contact lens. And you walk outside and you're in augmented reality.
Yeah.
And like you're plugged into whatever metaverse or whatever world or whatever the hell exists at that point in time. And it's like you're actually living in real life, but in that real life, you're also seeing virtual shit.
Yeah, that's
like
it.
you're living the two realities simultaneously. Isn't that crazy?
That's fucked up, man.
I'm telling you, won't need like I buy it more and more that you won't need the body, because if you could trigger certain things in the brain, right, certain neurological links or certain like triggers into the brain, you don't need the body, right? And your brain already does that. That's dreaming, right?
Yeah.
Think about it. Let's say you run, your body starts sweating because it feels the stress, right? You're burning calories, your heat level goes up, or you dissipate more heat. Well, let's say you're sleeping and somebody's running after you, but you're sleeping, you're dreaming this. You wake up, you're sweating, meaning your body doesn't know the difference between reality and the nightmare. It saw an image and it reacted to it.
Yeah.
But
it's the same thing.
But you know what's crazy though? You never run fast in your dreams.
Never.
Yeah.
You can never run away from someone.
It's true.
Or you can never catch up to someone.
That's your insecurities. That's your insecurities.
I don't know.
It's like never. It's like the guy that was running after you is like the Flash.
Or
and you're like,
You feel like you're being held back.
exactly. Or you have a knife and it melts.
I've never had that. No. You know what I've had? I've been in a gunfight where the other guy's bullets were fucking whizzing by me, and mine was like dropping just in front of me. and I'm trying to shoot and kind of throw at the same time as if the bullet's gonna go far. I was like,
I think that's insecurities, man. Maybe you had an incident.
No, I don't think
and you
so.
couldn't perform.
No,
it's not that?
No, I've never had performance issues.
All right.
But I've had the gun thing. I've had them consistently.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man, what the fuck's wrong with this gun? I can see the bullet. Like it's that slow. It's like, I can just see it.
I've gotten shot and like shot to the head and just got up and kept walking.
Really? Dreams?
Yeah, and
You didn't wake up.
You
No.
you were like Commando.
yeah, like Commando. Yeah,
Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Yeah,
Commando.
You know?
He gets bullets on the shoulders, doesn't even budge.
Or I'm having a dream. I'm in a fight. I'm beating somebody up, but there's no blood. I'm just pounding him. And
You have very violent dreams, man.
yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I get
You know the other dream that I have a lot? Like I'm driving, like I'm in a car now. So someone's chasing me and I'm driving and it's always a manual car. And for some reason, listen to this, bro. The shifter is not there. It's like fucking back here. It's like all over the way. And I can't drive and shift back there. I can't.
Fuck, I
And
thought I
I'm-
had weird dreams, bro. But
Yeah.
that's
And I'm like, fuck, why is it back there? This fucking thing. Who drives like this?
I don't know what kind of dreams you have, man. But that's pretty messed up.
Oh, it's not dreams like having giant flies chase him. Was it you that had
Me?
the flies?
The flies.
The flies were coming.
Yeah, it was him.
Was
It
it?
him.
I don't
Yeah,
remember.
the flies were coming.
The-
Look, everyone dreams. It's just we're gonna
That
gonna
wasn't
understand
me,
this
bro.
stuff a
Get
lot
outta
better.
Yes, are coming, bro. That wasn't me. Man.
All this to say that in the future you're gonna be boxing in your virtual augmented reality, and your body's gonna be like this. But you're gonna be fighting. You're gonna be fighting, taking beatings.
The excitement.
Yeah, I think obesity is just gonna go to another level, man.
Well, you won't need your body, so who cares?
Yeah, I don't know. People are just gonna sit there
Already,
and-
that's something.
The only thing
that's an epidemic.
Yeah, but
obesity is an epidemic.
It's been for decades already in the U.S. especially. But yeah, you don't need it because in your other world you're fucking ripped.
Yeah, exactly.
Ripped.
You have an 8-pack, and
It's like-
you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Yeah,
makes no
you're
sense.
Well, you know what? This is exciting. It's exciting. Like I am excited about it, but at the same time, you have your reservations, man. It's like you can't just. You know what it is. From now on, we can't just see things as good or bad. They're half good and they're half bad, and we gotta be able to see both.
Here's the thing. Look, I'm not. I don't want to say concern. Concern is a big word because I mean we're still at the age where maybe we'll understand what's going on with our kids, but our grandkids,
Forget it.
we're gonna be completely.
He might be a little robot.
disconnected.
Your grandkid might be a robot.
No, but think about your parents.
his name
now.
is gonna be UB745.
Think about your parents now and how they're enjoying interacting with their grandkids because there's still some level of decent interaction. I have a feeling that when we reach that point, it's going to be just like non-existent. It's like we won't be able to relate. It's like, what are these kids doing now? Like,
You think they're gonna be able? This is just popped in my head
Yeah.
now. I don't know why. But you think they're gonna be able to like bring back the dead at least as in holograms?
that would be amazing, no?
That would be pretty scary, bro.
It is creepy. I
about it.
know.
That would be very scary.
No, but like think about it. Like
A virtual.
well, you have an AI that
You
could
wanna
scan everything.
you wanna go see like a family member that's deceased, you know, and then you go and it's like you whatever fantasy world and you have conversations.
Yeah, it's
and
like a
you're
role
there.
playing game,
Yeah, it's freaky.
but it's that character.
For sure, that's gonna happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Well,
No,
listen, if you, can live in another body, in a virtual body, you can.
No, but
you'll
because-
probably definitely
no,
be
but-
able to
but you
bring
know-
back a virtual.
You know what they have?
That
They've done, but you know what they've done now, right? They have this. What's it called, man? When that term there, where you can just put like Tom Cruise's face on you. What's it called?
Yeah. Oh, the term escapes my mind. I know what you're talking about. It's written somewhere in my phone.
What is it called?
Yeah.
And it's whatever. People that are listening, watching, they like you can just grab a picture of him and like you can talk, and it's like you look exactly like him, kind of thing.
yeah.
What the hell is it called? And it's whatever. So they have this thing now where you take a picture of your dead grandmother or dead grandfather, and it's like they become alive.
Yeah.
You know, and like I was watching it online, and you have people like crying. They're like, "Oh my god, look!" Like because they're alive in front of you, alive, in quotes. You know, alive.
But yeah, I don't know. I always want to bring it to, but I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say.
Deep fake.
Yeah.
The deep fake, is that what it's called? Deep fake
so.
images, whatever
I
it's
think
called.
so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. Sava, when are you planning on getting a haircut and looking like a human again?
I don't know, man. When COVID is over.
I like the look.
Yeah.
And look, but if your wife says,
The beard is long. The
Yeah.
beard is long. I gotta trim it a bit.
Like professionally at work and stuff, are people kind of afraid?
No, zero.
What are you talking about? Professionally, people don't shower. I've met people that haven't showered in 17 days, and they don't even feel bad.
Yeah, the hygiene has gone like to
Down
shit.
the-
Eh?
No.
The last year and a half, people, I think, they're
give a
like,
shit.
once a week.
I think the worst is people don't brush their teeth. I think that's done. That's a lost art.
Because you're wearing a mask.
People don't even brush their teeth anymore. It's finished.
Speaking of wearing a mask,
They chew gum.
Papa Gum
Think about it. Crest hasn't come out with like gum. Think about it.
No, they have Crest. Crest has gums, no?
No.
but gums that like clean your teeth.
For sure that exists.
Think about it,
We
man.
may not know it, but I'm sure it's out there.
We're talking about all this AI shit, metaverses, bro. Like we still have to brush our fucking teeth.
You know what I realized today?
about it, no?
I was wearing a mask and I burped. And
Smelled your burp and you almost fainted.
you know what? We don't realize how bad our fucking breath stinks. And I'm not talking about going to eat like a couple gyros, and because that one you smell right away.
The next day.
No, right away. Like like
No,
as
but
soon
I'm saying you
as
still have it till the next
oh
day.
yeah, even maybe
2 days
till the
later.
end of the week. Yeah, like
Maybe 3 days later.
Yeah, like a whole week. But we're talking about like on an average day. Like you wake up, you brush your teeth, like. And I was wearing a mask and I burped and I'm like, what the fuck? Oh my goodness, what the hell?
You're like, thank God I'm wearing a mask.
That happens when I fart sometimes. When I'm alone and I'm like, oh God. Like, thank God nobody's
Thank God
here.
nobody's around me.
But you know what? Like deep down inside, it's like, yeah.
You're proud of it.
Ah,
You're
No,
like,
but deep down inside, you're like, I wish someone was here. I wish someone
no,
could smell this.
Maybe you don't wish somebody was there, but definitely you're proud of it. There's a level of pride in your farts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or sometimes it's like you'll lace a fart and it's like, it's such a great sound, but the smell is disappointing.
I get that.
You know what I mean? There was so much oomph.
The smell doesn't match,
Yeah,
the decibels.
Yeah, it didn't keep up.
No.
You know, it didn't keep up.
It was like, that's
Underperformed.
it. It could have been worse.
It underperformed.
It underperformed vis-a-vis the sound.
Vis-a-vis the sound, man. It's like the sound is impressive. It's like I can't wait, and then it's like, oh, just this. You know?
Or it's like, or it's the sound with no smell. You ever get those?
Yeah, of course.
Rarely.
You're like, where is it? Where'd it go?
Where is it?
It's like a ghost
It's
shit.
like there's an anticipation. You're waiting for the smell. It's not
like
there.
a ghost shit. You ever had ghost shit?
Yeah, yeah.
What's bullshit?
When you take a shit, you're like, oh, tigam sa di toaleta, and then you look, there's no shit in the toilet bowl.
Oh yeah.
It's called the Houdini.
Houdini, ghost, whatever.
This is opening up the gates for
Scatology.
For scatology.
More
Oh,
scatology.
I'd like to be part of that next episode of
you know what? Yeah,
Scatology.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we're gonna do one
with the
just-
whiskey though and dark lights.
You
Sure,
have
and
to.
cigars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to have a couple of drinks. Open up the.
Because there's so much.
Oh man, I got
There's a lot.
ones
There's
for
so
you,
much.
man.
Like the biggest mystery,
Forget it.
and this we're gonna, we're teasing the people because we need to have I agree 100%. We need to have a separate episode on this, but I'd like to know the science behind the reason that your fart smells much more in the shower.
No, that one's simple, man.
No, why? How? How?
Humidity, closed space. Let me give you the paradox.
Yeah.
Okay. You shit for 2 minutes and you wipe for 3 hours, or you shit 3 hours and you don't need to wipe. You solve that one for me.
Yeah.
That one I need to be solved.
Yeah.
that's a weird one.
Yeah, you're there for half an hour, but you just need one little square.
Yeah,
and you're
one
done.
little square. But you go in for like 2 minutes and then you're wiping for a minute and a half.
You're
You're
wasting
done.
the whole roll.
Yeah. It's like it's never ending. Yeah.
And it's like there's always a little piece.
Scatology is so mysterious.
Yeah. Wow, we went from AI to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just brought up the conversation to next level of wisdom right now, ladies and gentlemen. We went from like AI to talking about wiping our asses.
Let's end on a high note. Let's do it.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We do appreciate it. Again, one more time, head on over to our YouTube channel, subscribe, like, and share our content. Head on over to Facebook, do the same, and follow us on all the audio platforms. Thank you all so much. Have a nice day, night, whenever you're listening to this. See you all on the next episode.
All right.
Ciao.
Take care.